Great. Thank you so much for coming as an edu speaker here. Guys, Toastmasters Pipit is a member from Bineka Online Toastmasters Club and an Eagle Toastmasters Club. And then she has lots of experiences in building membership in Toastmasters Club. May I know how long have you been at Toastmasters, Titian Pipit?
11 years.
11 years. Now, I think we should learn a lot from DT and Pipit on how to stay long in Toastmasters and build membership in our clubs, in our community, and then how to retain the membership. All right, I think without further ado, everybody here would like to listen to your session. Now the screen is yours, Toastmasters Pipit.
Thank you. I would like to also put timer for myself so I know that I won't be over time. But everyone, like you've heard before, that I've been in Toastmasters for 11 years, but that doesn't mean I know everything about Toastmasters. But I know for sure that I've never been not a member. So I never discontinued my membership, and I plan to be a member for another 10 years. So that's it. Probably you've been asking, oh, sorry, I cannot share screen. Please make me co-host. Thank you. Now I'm fully aware that slides are sometimes boring, but this is kind of official from Toastmasters, so I had to use it during TLI, so apologize if it's quite plain. But this is how I personally collected from 11 years in Toastmasters, how to recruit members and retain them. Now, if we had longer time slot, actually, I would like to ask you on a Menti about, are you happy with your club's current situation? Yes or no? But you can talk about it during your club or exco meeting or club meeting when no one outside the club know about our problem, okay? So you need to ask your members, are you happy with your club's current situation? Yes or no? And how do you feel when you attend your club meetings? Sorry. Sorry. Sorry, a bit sick today. Okay, so you need to ask them, how do you feel when you attend your club meetings? Make it in adjective. Like, is it boring, exciting? Like, cannot wait to get it over with, or cannot wait to have another meeting? What is it? How do you feel during your meeting? Energized, blah, blah, blah. Because the rule of thumb is, imagine for your guest, if you feel the experience is positive, reduce it by 50%. Because, for example, you feel like, oh, it's fun, or probably because you know each other. That's why it was fun. But for your guest, maybe it was just 50% fun of your current fun, right? When it's negative, it's the opposite. You need to amplify it 2 times by 50%. So it's supposed to be 200% there, 200%. So if you don't feel if you don't enjoy your meeting, your guests will not enjoy it even more because probably they don't know anyone in that meeting, right? So they don't have any glue that keep them stick to this meeting. So whatever you feel, if it's positive, reduce it by 50%. If it's negative, amplify it by 200%. That's how you imagine how your guests feel. And just like my favorite novel by Leo Tolstoy, he said, all happy families are alike, but every unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. So is our club. There are 65,000 clubs in the world, right? And every club has their own problem. So I cannot tell you what could be the problem that happened in Malang Toastmasters Club, what could be the problem that happened in Surabaya Toastmasters Club. Every club has their own unique problem. However, the similarity is all of them need to find out what the problems are and have a duty to fix the problem, okay? So we need to do that. You can even put out a survey, for example, a blind survey. like a Google form. Do not need to write your name. Like, how do you feel about this club? What needs to be changed? Things like that. And this needs to be talked about or discussed as a club. But before we move on to the tips and tricks, if your memberships dwindle though, do not beat yourself too hard over it. Losing members in Toastmasters is actually really normal. Even the head of Toastmasters, the international president, knows about this, right? You can ask about their club. Probably it's not 20 members at the moment, right? That is why in our DCP every year, we are expected to add 8 members. You know why? Because probably we will lose 8 members too. People change, their priorities change. Sometimes they get married, they suddenly have kids. Not necessarily in that order sometimes, right? So they just leave the club. Sometimes they need to move to a different city. Sometimes they start college, move jobs and things like that, lose jobs, new jobs. All of these things can be a reason why people cannot be active anymore. And also there are people who have problems. There are people who still don't know how to manage their time. They cannot even show up for their own work or their own job. Moreover, they need to show up in an extra activity outside their duty, for example, like Toastmasters. So you don't beat yourself too hard if you lose members, because probably not because of the club, okay? So keep that option open. However, of course, we need to try our best. First, there are 3 things to remember. First, if you're not happy, others won't be happy too. Happiness and also sadness is contagious, right? If you're bored with your club, then your club members will be bored too. That's why you need to distribute a blind survey, like I said earlier, and discuss how meetings make them feel. What is lacking in this meeting? And then you need to discuss it together. Second, club branding. Club branding is not like Roro Jonggrang, asking someone to build temples overnight. We cannot build our club branding overnight. It takes not practice, it takes consistency. We need to treat our club branding like a piggy bank. A little bit of coin every day, a little bit of coin every week. That's why we cannot, like, for example, only post once a month in our club account, for example. It has to be consistently posted. People probably won't even notice, right? But they can feel your presence if you regularly post something about your club. From my Bhinneka experience, to be honest with you, Robin is here, so he can tell you if this is true story or not. But if he said this is not true story, I will kick him after this meeting. Okay, my Bhinneka experience. So I actually, when I was about to charter Bhinneka Toastmasters with a few other members, we only had 2 demo meetings, right? But we got 26 members. I delivered a speech about Toastmasters for around 20 minutes. By the time I finished my speech, 6 people signed up. That was like in the span of 20 minutes. And of course, there are members who ask me, how did you do that? Can you teach me how? Right? Well, they signed up and decided to register, not because of my speech, but because of what I post on my social media regularly about Toastmasters. So this is not about something that I can build overnight or what I can deliver within 20 minutes. This is something that piqued my friends' interest all this time. And what I need to do is just nudge them. Hey, do you want to join Toastmasters? Oh my God, why not? You never told me. Why never asked me about this? I want to ask, but I'm so embarrassed. For example, the person is malu to ask me, waiting for me to ask first, for example, right? And then, of course, what we need to remember is there's a book called Ask, Start with Why, right? What kind of people are in your club? You will attract the same type of people. So if you're a club with a bunch of cool people, then probably you will attract a bunch of cool people too. If you're a club with a bunch of overachievers, multitaskers, like cool people, productive people, then people will identify with you. Okay, I'm a productive person. I like, feeling good about myself with all these achievement and stuff. So they will go to your club because they found this is my kind of people. I want to be with these people. So identify what is the quality of your club that you want to make people attracted to your club. And sadly, in reality, you do need a mascot sometimes, right? So every club has this usually one person or two that other people will look up to in terms of, oh, I want to be that person. That's why I want to join. So you do not lose this type of mascot, right? Now, this is just talking about the reality in Toastmasters. There are so many people got turned off by uncharismatic leader, for example. So you really need someone who is charismatic and also who can be an example for others in every club. Right. Now, the standard promotions, how to attract guests. Make account on social media. I know this, everyone has done it, but ask your members to talk to their friends, relatives, co-workers, and blah, 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 and tell how you feel about Toastmasters on social media. Sometimes this is even more effective than your club accounts. It's your members' personal account. Because club accounts are not people. They don't have emotional attachment to this. But if your members actually testify about your own clubs in their social media, then probably it can attract people. And clubs and members' consistency is the key. Make your registration easy. Don't be a stickler. People hate many steps. Sometimes if I were you, I will just reveal what the meeting ID is and the password. Actually, I don't, well, there are people who, what if there's someone, but what's the chance? Maybe 1%. There's an intruder. Sometimes we would welcome an intruder. Probably this intruder can be a member, right? As long as if you don't like the person, just remove the person from the meeting. So the risk of, of publishing the meeting ID to be hacked or something is really small. For me, I will just, if I invite someone, I will just use the meeting ID and the password actually all this time. I save them the extra steps to register. Stellar treatments of guests. Greet guests and make them feel welcome. This is IU experience. The reason why IU Anantia became a Toastmasters member is because Danny talked to her in the chat room, in the chat box. So because she felt welcome in that particular club, that's why she decided to join. So we cannot underestimate the effect of personal connection. Okay. So if in a real meeting, we ask someone to sit with a guest, right? Just like in an online meeting, someone must chat with a guest. Not just in everyone, just personal. Hey, where are you from? Ask for their contact and give them your contact. And ask the person personally to visit again. Not just during the meeting, but maybe send a WhatsApp message. Keep it personal. Always keep the communication to the guest personal, helpful, and friendly. Don't rely on broadcast. Talk to them personally. If too many to talk to, schedule it. So on Monday, I will talk to blah, blah, blah. On Tuesday, I will talk to blah, blah, blah. And Wednesday, I will talk to blah, blah, blah. In my experience, they always come up with a question. You only plan to say hi for 5 minutes. It ended up 15 minutes if you're lucky. Because they have so many questions, but it's worth it. Okay. But last but not least, I know it's 12 minutes. A guest never forgets the host who had treated them kindly. This is Homer, 1,000 years old. Okay, so if you are really welcoming, if you make your guests feel comfortable, I'm pretty sure your guests will not forget that. So I hope this can help Malang Toastmasters Club, and good luck, everyone.
Please give a big round of applause for DTMPP. Yes, a guest will feel welcome if the host treated them kindly. I think this is like a kicking quote from DTMPP because sometimes we tend to forget because we tend to focus on the technical issues. We tend to focus on the steps, how to make a perfect meeting, perfect event, that we don't remember that they are human being, and then they need to be welcomed by us. So heart to heart connection, we need that. Thank you so much, DTMPP. And now I would like to open the question and answer for everyone here who would like to know further the tips, probably a personal tips from DTMPP on how to bring so many members to the club, and how to make the members stay in the community. Is there any question, everyone? Oh yes, we have Nana. Hi Nana, please raise your question to our speaker, please. We cannot hear you. Oh yeah, we can hear you.
So yeah, it's really interesting presentation, Kak Pipit. I'm really enjoying a lot your explanation and it's real your experience on Toastmaster. And I am the guest in this Toastmaster, and I don't know much about this club, and this really benefit for me. Actually, I still like contemplating that's fact. And what make me curious about your experience in Toastmaster for 11 years is, 11 years is not such a really small duration, but it's really long duration. And yeah, the point is, what kind of circle Toastmaster Bhinneka in your life? Like, it's really your life, 11 years. And it is make like many impact on you. And then, yeah, please answer my curiosity. I think that's all. Thank you.
Thank you for your question, Nana. Actually, your curiosity is probably what Toastmasters is not attracted to, but the type of people who ask this type of questions usually go to Toastmasters. I used to ask the same questions like you 11 years ago. And I know 11 years is a long time. It's almost grade 1 until almost finishing high school, right? Almost 12 years. Actually, first, I believe if you want to be successful, you need to be the super connector, right? Everyone who is successful, almost everyone, has huge network. Toastmasters is a huge network. And you don't have to be the one weaving this network. Other people weave it for you. You just need to enter. For example, like I said earlier, we have 365,000 members all around the world. Robin is from Mauritius. I'm sure you've never heard Mauritius before, but there is Toastmasters in Mauritius, for example. Right? We are in 145 countries. We have been around for almost 100 years. If you want, for example, for me, I moved from Medan to Surabaya, right? That time I did not know anyone in Surabaya, but I can find friends from Toastmasters. I just need to find out what are the clubs in Surabaya, Toastmasters. And when I introduced myself, a lot of people came to me. Like, oh my God, go to my club. Oh my God, go to my club, visit us, blah, blah, blah. You have a ready-made and available community ready to welcome you. Especially now it's online meeting, right? You can visit 145 countries literally face-to-face. Although sometimes it's 6 a.m. in the morning, you can go to New York, 11 p.m. at night, you can go to Saudi Arabia if you want. So such a great opportunity to get to know a lot of people. Actually, just a few days ago, I found a friend from Myanmar who is in Toastmasters. And I love Myanmar. I want to go to, I've been there. I want to go to other part of Myanmar, but I cannot go because I need to go with a local person, right? You cannot go in Myanmar as a tourist by yourself. Then I found a friend in Myanmar from Toastmasters that can help me go to these places. Now, this is just one example. So if you really want to be the super connector, like I said, and I'm sure it will bring a lot of opportunities to you, I think you should join Toastmasters. Like, I'm just a regular person, but I've been to a lot of radio stations. I've been to newspaper because of Toastmasters. Why? Because a lot of Toastmaster people work in the radio. A lot of Toastmasters people work in newspaper. And then they just happen to, oh, why don't you come to my radio? Okay, sure. Right. Now, if I was not in Toastmasters, probably I wouldn't, why would they invite me, right? I'm just a stranger. So I really like Toastmasters because you will meet a lot of amazing people and it's full of surprises. So why don't you give it a try? Okay, Nana?
Thank you for the for the nice answer. I think it's enough.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Diti and PP. Yes, true that from Toastmasters we can have a vast variety of friends because we can know accountant, probably accountant or probably teacher. We have trainers and probably we have many friends from different fields of work. So that's how amazing Toastmasters is. We can get to know people not only based business to business, but sometimes we can make friendship here. Thank you so much, Diti and Pipit. And now we have a question from Toastmasters Rizdiana. Would you like to read by yourself or should I?
Everyone can read it, right? So
Yes.
how about what to do when the guests feel overwhelmed, like that we are so expert in English? Okay, that's a good sign. That means he or she was impressed with your club. But make sure this comment was genuine. Okay, sometimes people, especially in Indonesia, they just doesn't want to make you feel bad. So they say, oh, you guys are so expert. It's not my level yet. You may need to make sure this is a genuine comment. That's first and foremost. Second, if it's an actually genuine comment, you need to ask them, well, do you want to make the step to be like us a little bit at a time? Give them an example. Like my favorite example is Purwanto, for example. Right? Purwanto, I knew him since 7 years ago. And he was always the timer because you only need to say the same thing over and over again in every meeting. He was so fit to speak in English, for example. David Franata from Surabaya Toastmasters Club. Now he's a public speaker. He's a corporate trainer, right? When you hire him, 2 days is $2,000, right? But I knew him in Toastmasters 11 years ago. He couldn't even speak. Like I'm telling you, like you need to go to English course, dude. I told him, right? But now he changed. But if there are people who said, okay, I'm never gonna change. Like, this is too hard for me. Well, too bad, because you never know. This is like natural resources, right? You don't find natural resources laying around on the ground, right? You need to dig deep into the earth, and then sometimes quite a long time to do it. And this is how you find out what you actually can do. So convince them that if it's really genuine, offer help, that we can help you to be like us if you really genuinely think we are too good or we are an expert, something like that. Probably that's what I say.
Thank you, DDMPP.
All right. Yes, true. I also experienced many of our guests, they hesitate to join Toastmasters Club just because they're afraid that they're not suitable in our community. But in fact, all of us here are not native speakers, especially Indonesian. So why are you afraid? Because we have the same page, we have the same experience where we learn English from scratch, and then we have to practice it even more. So in Toastmasters, you can practice your speaking skills. So I think it's like you throw one stone, but you get many benefits from here. And is there any more questions to our Edu speaker
I think
tonight?
I have a question.
All right, go on, Apri.
Okay, I want to ask regarding about the branding. What do you think is the most effective way to publish the content in social media? There is content like people talking about Toastmaster, or we publish some kind of quote, or so? The question is, what type of content that do you think is really effective to make our club to be more attractive?
Well, wow. Actually, I have different opinion from really some people I know in Toastmasters. And the first, like after you said the reason you joined Toastmasters because English, right? Right? You say that. But for me, it's not the English. It's not even the public speaking skill. It's just, I think it's different. What really attract people in Toastmasters, I think, is the community and what type of person you want to be. So this is what I mean as personal branding. So if I say this, I'm kind of repeating TED Talk here. The reason why people buy iPhone is not because it has a lot of features, right? Versus Samsung or whatever. They buy an iPhone is because the idea of an iPhone, what kind of person buy an iPhone? Oh, the person who buy iPhone is rich. Oh, the person who buy iPhone is like this. They like the idea of being seen as maybe a rich person or modern, sleek, cool, whatever. To me, same as Toastmasters. What kind of people are in Toastmasters? This is the people who are busy. People in Toastmasters are busy. You cannot imagine how busy they are. But somehow they still find time. They still carve out time outside family, outside their job, outside their school to develop themselves. So these kind of people are hard to find. So if I find a community who are like-minded like me, then I'll be really happy. And I want to be that part of that group. You know, makes me feel cool. You know, I'm part of a productive group. Yeah. Although I sleep all day, but at least I'm part of it. Okay. So try to build a branding in terms of what kind of people joining Toastmasters. So it's not about learning English. It's not about, you know, what is the tagline of Toastmasters? It's not where public speakers are made. It's not where English speakers are made. This is where leaders are made. So people who want to hone in their leadership skills, probably, people who want to build their community, people who want to develop themselves, find themselves in Toastmasters. Not because of what happened. My English is fine, to be honest with you. My English is fine since before I joined Toastmasters. So English obviously is not the reason why I joined Toastmasters. I was a debater for 7 years before I joined Toastmasters. So my public speaking is kind of okay. Right? Why do I still join Toastmasters? Because of the kind of people who join Toastmasters. So if you want to build your brand, build in that type of way that this type of people join Toastmasters. And Malang Toastmasters Club is one of them. So I think that's how I would build the brand.
Thank you, DTMPP. Yeah, I think it's kind of answered what Toastmasters Apri is curious about. That, yeah, the branding itself is not about always public speaking and then English. So we have to know what kind of guests that would like to join our clubs, and then probably we should know what they need in our club as well. Thank you so much, DTMPP.